All right, welcome back to the channel. I am going to have fun doing this video. Josh Taylor out of Scotland says that he loves Manny Pacquiao, but he would beat Manny Pacquiao up if they fought. Let's talk about Josh Taylor out of the UK, the WB. What belts does that boy have? He has the IBF and the WBA 140-pound championships. Yeah. Let's talk about him, Manny Pacquiao, but what would happen to that dude and what will happen to him when he finally moves up to the weight class he should have already been at for a while, the welterweight division. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Manny Pacquiao. Everybody wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence Jr. wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. Terence Crawford wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. Sean Porter wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman wants a rematch with Manny Pacquiao. Josh Taylor wants to fight or doesn't want to fight with Manny Pacquiao, but he says that he loves Manny Pacquiao, but that he would beat up Manny Pacquiao. Let's talk about that. First, let's tell you who these guys are. Josh Taylor is a guy, despite some real problems that he has in his life, like the fact that he, admitted to racially abusing somebody in the UK while he was, I do believe, my understanding of it is that he was high on cocaine and he verbally assaulted with racial epithets and all kind of other craziness at somebody just because they were doing their job at a nightclub, called them all kind of orange, this and that. And, and as a result, he had to plead guilty to racial abuse in Scotland. So when he comes over to the United States of America, he's going to have that along with the fact that nobody knows who he is, that would be very hard for him to even get a Manny Pacquiao fight because one, nobody knows who he is. I have done videos about him for a while, but I'd make a video about just about everybody that can fight. I do think that he's a particularly talented guy, but I don't think that there is any chance whatsoever of him actually getting a Manny Pacquiao fight. But what do I think he would do with Manny Pacquiao? Do I think he could beat Manny Pacquiao? Yes, I do. I think Josh Taylor couldn't beat Manny Pacquiao because Josh Taylor is a good fighter who should be at 147 pounds and should have been at least, I would say, obviously for about the last 3 fights that he's had, should be at 147 pounds because he looks like an anorexic during the weigh-ins. And that's how when people, it's time, maybe you don't really truly belong in this weight class when you're 5'10", and the other guys that you're fighting are coming up to coming up to your chin, and you look like, you look completely dilapidated and anorexic in the weigh-in. And then when you get into the ring, you may walk into the ring at a 140-pound fight, weighing dang near 155, 160. Now, do I know that he weighs 155 or 160? No, I do not know that he weighs 155 or 160. All I know is that he looks considerably heavier and bigger than anybody that he fights, with the exception of Victor Postol at 140 pounds. And once, let me remind you, he fought Victor Postol. Didn't look so shiny. Victor Postol is the run-of-a-mill. He's a run-of-a-mill fighter, slightly above run-of-the-mill fighter who hadn't fought in a while, got dropped in the fight before he fought Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor skimmed out a win over Victor Postol. If Josh Taylor moves up to 147 pounds and fights guys that are his own size, Josh Taylor's career is going to be back in the domestic level over there in the UK because he's going to get the brakes beaten off of him. He fought Regis Prograis, and I believe that Regis Prograis, without a doubt, is a good, solid fighter who is a betweener type of fight. He's at 140. He's at 140 pounds. But really, he looks like the size of a guy that, man, if he just really just drained himself and could get a mega fight at 135 pounds, could go down there and fight a guy like Teofimo Lopez. Or he doesn't look physically any bigger than Teofimo Lopez, right? He's about 5'6". His walk around weight looks like it's somewhere in the 150 pounds. Just not a big guy. And Regis Prograis gave Josh Taylor everything that he could handle and busted his eye up like this big. Now, this is Regis Prograis walking you down. Regis Prograis, a little dude walking you down that shuts your eyes up, goes 12 rounds with you, and you need a guy in a round that the vast majority of people would have considered a round for Regis Prograis. A specific judge had to give that to Josh Taylor in order for that fight with Regis Prograis not to be considered a draw. Now, if you look at Josh Taylor and you look at how he fought Postal, if you look at how he fought Regis Prograis, and then you imagine him in the ring with Terence Crawford, that, my friends, is absolute and total destruction. So I would hope, because generally speaking, dude, I'm not the biggest fan of guys that have to plead guilty to racially abusing people and in a threatening manner when you are a professional fighter, right? What are you doing out in a nightclub? We're doing something where people would think that the cocaine was yours, right? Now, he pled guilty to racial abuse, but he was found not guilty, from my understanding, for possession of cocaine. Now, you know how that works, or at least, there's a chance that it works like that, that maybe it might not have been that you could say, well, no, it's not mine, that's his. So instead of the world champion, right, with all the money coming in, saying, yeah, not only did I racially abuse somebody, I was high on cocaine and it was in my pocket at the time that I did it, which would make me what? A fundamentally dangerous person to be running around with. And I think might even categorize as you being considered a reckless thug, right? Maybe instead of all that being on your head, you give the cocaine to somebody else and have them hold it for you. And so that you didn't have possession of it, right? Now you might have ingested it, right? Which could have led you to wild out like that irresponsibly at an innocent person who ain't done nothing to an innocent person who very well may feel that because you're a professional boxer that they could be scared of imminent bodily harm, but hey, man, what a quality guy, right? So like him as a fighter, as a person, based on what the public record is in in Scotland, hey, man, he could use some counseling. Let's put it that way. But that counseling, I do believe, without a doubt, will show up in the form of Terence Crawford. It will show up in the form of Errol Spence. It will show up in the form of Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Jaron Ennis. It might show up in the form of Virgil Ortiz. So I'd like to see when this guy who is clearly 5'10", a 5'10" guy draining himself down to fight smaller fighters at 140 pounds, when he moves up, I would be very interested to see whether he will be able to racially abuse those type of fighters. I don't think he will. I think that he will then become a flash in the pan. And I think what Bob Arum is going to try to do, this is just my opinion, right? Based on me having seen how top things pay out for Top Rank. I think what they're going to try to do, I think they're going to try to keep Josh Taylor at 140 pounds and have Jose Ramirez move up to 147 pounds, because unlike Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez can have the whole fights go through where he doesn't get his face swole up and he doesn't go ahead and fight guys in manners that are basically stupid. Yeah, so sorry about that. I got broke up for a little bit because my dog started barking because I got my lawn care service out there, doing the doing the landscaping. I got people doing landscaping out there, so kind of busted me up. But yeah, man, and if you didn't notice, dude, I'm a little hot at Josh Taylor. Because, dude took personal shots at me, right? So, hey, dude, when you take personal shots at me, when I'm not gonna do for the 30,000 or so people, that watch my channel, the 50,000 people over a couple days that watch videos, dude, I'm not gonna extend you the same fucking courtesy, that I would before, where I don't tell people really what you've done and what you're about, right? And I'm not gonna say, oh, you're a 28-year-old kid, yeah, you're just probably out there drinking or whatever. Nah, man, I'm gonna judge you by what you do. You are, in my opinion, a dude, a weight bully at 140 pounds, a cocaine sniffing, racist, weight bully down there at 140 pounds, dude. You need to stop intimidating your Asian people and calling them orange just because you don't like them, dude. Calm yourself down. If you don't know how to handle yourself in public, don't go outside. How about that? Okay? Because, hey, man, there might have been some things in my life that I've done, right? Like, hey, man, when I was 24 years old, got a DUI. I understand how that is. You're out partying on your birthday. You might have a couple drinks and you drive yourself home. That was my experience. So I understand what it is to be young and be out there and do things that, might not be the smartest thing in the world. I've never personally been somebody that likes powder. That's, I've never done that. I've done some green stuff. I've done some drink stuff. Never done the powder stuff. Don't judge people that do. But if you're going to actually be involved in that type of stuff, dog, what that does is that brings out your real personality, right? So you very well may not have been if that had not been around you. Now, I don't know if it was in the system or not. I don't know. But if it's in your system and you're out there acting wild, that's bringing out who you truly are. And it keeps you from being inhibited. So while I understand being out there partying, right, as a young dude with a lot of money, understand when you let that stuff fly out your mouth, that's because of what you really believe. And I have to suspect that if you believe that about an Asian man, that you might believe that about me as well, and be willing to, who knows, dude, if there's not people around what a guy like you might do to somebody that they think, with your ability to fight and hurt people and tendency to do, training to do that, who knows what you might do to somebody, man, because you don't like the color of their skin. Right? But that's Josh Taylor and why I don't have any support for the dude, aside from him being a jackass. But that is my take. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.